Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we're currently out here in the DragsterTV garage this morning. Still just a little bit messy in the background. Haven't really gotten around to organizing due to the amount of stuff in here and the limited space. But it's all back there, it's alright. Today we're focusing on the 2005 Honda TRX 400EX. Now the last video I did make talking about my 400EX here is right when I had brought it home. When I got done trading this for the trading the blaster for this, excuse me. So currently right now, as you guys can see, it's kind of missing a few things. We are currently in the process of tearing it down here. As you guys can see, we are now at the top of the motor and we're ready to tear into it just about. Now with this teardown process, obviously I started with the plastics, move my way down into the gas tank, took off from the gas tank, you're gonna have to take off the air box. I'm trying to remember the pattern. So it goes gas tank, air box, and then the gas tank tray. And you have to take off your exhaust all the way. You're going to need to take off your oil jug here that's mounted right down there to get the exhaust out. You know, just a couple different little things. Obviously, you're going to need to remove your carburetor. We'll just get a nice, clean, open space. Just get everything off so you have just the motor to focus on. So that's really where we're at right now. Now a little bit of a backstory with this thing. When I bought it, it was smoking a decent bit. It kind of did pan out, but I was going through oil pretty quick. After every couple hour ride, you know, be riding for about 3 hours, I'd come back and it'd be just about empty. Maybe, you know, just a little bit below half sometimes. Sometimes it'd be not completely empty. I've never ran it with completely no oil in it, but definitely a lower amount than I should have been riding it with. And over time, I mean, I really haven't ridden this thing too much, but when I do get on it and ride it, I do ride it for a couple of hours. So I do put some hours on this thing. So throughout all those rides with hardly no oil, maybe not the right amount of oil, anyways, just the wrong amount of oil, aka too little, that has caused some damage. So that has resulted in me needing to tear it all down and get new piston, new rings, new gaskets, and since I'm going to tear it all down, possibly a stage 1 hot cam. Now with it tore down to this state, there's multiple different things I can really just take off and redo and clean and just make this thing like a brand new machine. So when I'm going through the whole process here, maybe reassembly, before I put something on, I'm going to clean it all down, you know, just make sure this thing is spotless. I may try to paint the whole frame, but that is just maybe, because I don't know, I painted the back grab bar because obviously it's a part of the frame. That's what Honda did with their 400EXs, so you can't just take it off, buy a black one, put a new one on. So I painted right where you could see the start of it. Looks a little bit silly, so I may have to finish up the whole frame, paint the rest of it black. But I do watch many quad videos on the internet, mainly 400EX videos, so I was just thinking to myself, you know, I have one. I'm kind of in the process of working on it right now, rebuilding it, so really wouldn't hurt to put out a video or two on it, show you guys really what I've been working on in my free time. And want to go ahead and show you guys kind of the setup here, just so we're not losing anything. So right here I have airbox bolts. What is this? This is the carb bolts. There's like 4 or 5. Gas tank bolts. There's a couple of different like little, you know, not clips, but you know, the holders and some bolts. So don't want to lose those. Next is the intake. It's pretty important. And then exhaust, just so I'm not looking at a pile of bolts and not really remembering what to go to. And the oil jug, aka the oil thingy. And then I have all my whatever these things are called. Keep forgetting what they're called. So yeah, I've been a little bit organized over here. I have the WD-40, it's definitely coming in handy. Then over here, I do have my side plastics. See, here's my exhaust. Here's the slip-on. As you guys can see, here's my air box, gas tank tray, and of course the gas tank and the oil jug. And then for the main plastics, here's my seat with the rear plastic. Here's the little connector that connects in the middle of both my front plastics. And so yeah, it's all coming together pretty well, I'd say. Or coming apart pretty well, I should say. I'm hoping it'll come together pretty well in the end. Currently where we're at right now, tonight I'm planning on tearing into the head, checking out really how bad my piston is, just tearing it all down because Obviously, I'm gonna need new piston rings and gaskets and all that, because really after like all the oil settled for a while, didn't ride this thing for a couple months, pretty much all winter. When I got back on it the first time, we got some nice weather after winter, aka a couple of months. I went to ride it and smoke just started barreling out like instantly out of right through here. Just smoke just started coming out from right here, right where your exhaust starts, but nothing was coming out the tailpipe. Like it fired right up first click, just like normal, right? Just fired right up, started running, and then not even like 5 seconds later, a bunch of smoke just started pouring out from right here. Saw some smoke coming out there, just sleeping through. So in a matter of seconds, there's just, from everywhere you looked, smoke just coming out of this portion of the engine. Same with on this side, there's a little bit of smoke just coming out there. So I knew it wasn't good. I had to shut it off, and me and my dad were looking at each other like, what was that? I have no idea what happened there. So tried it again. This time when it started up, it took about 10 to 20 seconds. Like it was a little bit weird. We were standing there after waiting about a minute since the first time we started up and smoke came out. So then we fired up again just to try to like see where the smoke's coming out of exactly. And we found out it was from there, and maybe why it was smoking so bad for no reason. Because it really, it wasn't burnt oil smoke. It was like more of a steam, you know? It's kind of like if you run your quad, if you've been running your quad for a couple hours and it's really hot, and then you run it through a puddle of mud and some splash up on the motor, and you see that steam coming off the motor. I've seen it multiple times, and that is like pretty much exactly what I saw. So we had thought maybe there was just something on the motor, and maybe we burnt it off the first time, so we went ahead and fired it up again. And then it took about 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and we're sitting there looking at it for the 20 or 30 seconds. We're like, okay, no smoke's coming out. I wonder where that was from, why it smoked the first time starting up. Maybe we had spilled some liquid, some fluid on it, and it was burning off because it was more of like a steam, not really just a thick white smoke like I'd been seeing from the exhaust, aka burning oil, because I had bad rings. Well, about 30 seconds later, just something went off and started doing it again. A bunch of smoke started coming out. So we're like, okay, let's turn it off. So we turned off, and this is where we're at right now. We pulled in the garage. I was a little bit bummed. We started turning into it. Really, the backstory, I kind of forgot this big part because this has kind of been my main thing for the last few days, tearing it all down. But the main part was, I really don't know where the old one went, but the reason I parked it was because I was missing a bearing right here. So when you'd stand the quad, and I'll put a clip in right here. So when you'd stand on the quad, you could see that the whole frame would go like this, right? So not a good deal. Well, in the meantime, when replacing the whole carrier bearing inside of here, I decided to go ahead and put a new chain on, new front, not rear, and rear sprocket. But my sprocket hub is a little bit bent, I've just found out, so this gives me more time to go ahead and get a new sprocket hub as well, while I'm currently rebuilding all this. So I'm gonna get a new sprocket hub to go with my new sprocket, chain, and front sprocket. So it all should go together pretty well in the end, and it should be a fun time when I go ahead and ride it next. Went ahead and painted my wheels black. Didn't paint the back, as you guys can see, it looks just a little bit weird, but I did paint the, what you normally look at, the front side of the wheels black. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Painted up my A-arms just a little bit just to see what they look like. They're pretty beat up and rusty, as is the frame. So if I paint the whole frame black, these are getting black too. So yeah, should all come together in the end, look pretty good. So I'll keep you guys updated, take you guys along for every major thing. Since I just started this series today, I probably should have started it when I was doing the teardown, but that was the span like 2 or 3 days, so didn't really want to do that. Because if I make videos, if I start one, I want to finish it that night. I hate going over a couple of days and then I end up forgetting a clip or something. So that's why I really don't do that often. So this is going to be one video, and the next video maybe will be me probably putting on the new components inside the motor and then reassembly, because you guys missed the disassembly. So this is where we're at right now. I can't wait to show you guys in the end what it looks like. I like to document everything, so I do this through my YouTube videos. So I'm hoping in the end the frame will be black, the backside of my wheels will be black, the whole frame will just be extremely clean. Obviously, it's gonna need to be extremely clean for it to be painted. You know, hoping I'm just gonna go through and just clean everything, just get it nice and shiny. Obviously, I'm gonna go through and detail my plastics, and not just my plastics, but mainly the air box. So when you take off the seat, you're like, man, this is a well-kept quad. You know, I just want it to look new-ish. So, may paint my exhaust pipes black because on our LTZ 400 here, we already went through and did that once, painted the exhaust pipes black. I mean, it's a little bit dirty. And currently we are working on the LTZ 400 too, fixing a couple bearings. This has a little bit of a bent axle, so we're gonna need to get new bearings and new axle as well, so we don't wear out the new bearings if we keep the bent axle. Obviously, we wouldn't do that because we take it all apart. Might as well get a new axle with it. So yeah, that's what's going on with the Suzuki. But mainly in today's video, we're covering the 400EX. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to follow the series. And make sure to turn on those post notifications to never miss a new daily video from me. And with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you have an amazing rest, guys, day or night. And with that, I'll catch you guys very, very soon in the next one.